Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Figs Outside. So today I'm going to be putting on a new set of Bilstein shocks on the front of my 2005 Dodge Ram 2500 Cummins diesel, and I believe it's the same for 94 to 2012. It's a four-wheel drive. I might be a little wrong on that, but so I put a leveling kit in it. So the one thing that you want to remember is that when you order the shocks, you want to be sure if it's squatting in the front or if it's got a leveling kit in the front. And so usually they're anywhere from 0 to 1.5 or 0 to 2.5 with the leveling kit in the front. And so you got to be sure you order the right shock for that. And also you want to be sure that it's got a post instead of an eye at the like on the bottom of the shock. Some of them have it on the top, but most of them have it most of them have a post on the top, excuse me. So anyway, here's what we're looking at. All right, guys, so here it is. So here's the shock out of the box, and as you can see, it's got the post on the top, and it's already got the boot on it. And then, it's upside down. So this is Bilstein. And so this one has a 0 to 2.5 inch lift in the front, and so that is the part number. And so it also comes with a little goodie bag. That's for the installation kit. That's the bushings for the top. And so there's the cup that goes on the bottom. It'll sit right here. And they're both the same. So you just got to be sure you put one there, put a bushing on it, put that one on the top, and then you'll put the nut on over the top of that when it goes into the shock tower. So what you're going to need is a 21 millimeter, and that's for the bottom eye. That's down here, that's in the front. I'll show you guys here in a second. And then you need a 14 millimeter. Those are the ones for the shock tower. And then you need an 18 millimeter, and that is for the top of the shock. That's for that nut up there that goes on the top right here. So, and of course a breaker bar. Let's take a look. All right, guys, so this is the one that I was talking about. This is the shock tower. I'm going to remove the inner fender well. So if you want to do that, you have these little bolts in there, 8 millimeter. You got several of them to hold on this inner fender well. Sorry about the noise, guys. It's not my old place. It's a little more noisy here. So anyway, this is the 14. The one on the top is the 18, and then down here, inside of there, let's see if we can get a little. I don't know if it'll focus on that or not. Anyway, you have a bolt in there, and then that's the 21 millimeter. And so, like I said, you got it both sides. And the easiest way to do it is you're going to have to compress that, or you're going to have help. Sorry about the focus. And it's easier just to remove this inner fender well. Super easy. Only take a couple minutes. And then, so that right there in the middle. Guys, so that's the one that's right there. That's the top of the shock tower. And so you can see that washer on the top. So, all right, guys. Well, let's get to this. All right, guys. So I got the bolts out of the inner fender well. One thing I forgot to mention too is that you're gonna have it on both sides. So this comes through this right here. It's that little body clip. You got to be careful with that. Don't destroy it. Don't. Be sure you don't jack up your wires, because this goes down to your ABS sensor. And for that stupid little thing, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get on, because you got to take the wheel off. You got to take the caliper and all that other stuff off. So anyway, inner fender wheels removed, and I'll show you guys what it looks like here in a second. All right, there we go. Kind of dirty. Anyway, so there it is. That's the fender well removed. Now you have a lot more ease of access to the top of your shock tower and the shock and all that. So the easy way to go about doing this is to remove this one on the top. You have 3 of these bolts right here, or 3 of these nuts, excuse me. They're studs that come through. They're down here underneath on the top of the. Anyway, so you got 3 of them right here that are holding that on. So undo this one, undo these 3, and then you go down and you remove the 21 millimeter down there that's in the axle. And you can pop this off, slide that over, and the whole shock will come off the top. Oh, and honorable mention real quick, guys, is I like to take a wire brush and I like to hit all those nuts and those bolts. That way you get all the dirt off of there. It just makes unthreading that bolt, or that, excuse me, unthreading that nut a lot easier. Cleans it all up, and you don't have to worry about jacking up the threads very much. Usually the dirt doesn't really matter, but it makes it more of a pain in the butt when you take them off. So anyway, wire brush them. And you can also add liquid wrench or whatever you prefer, WD-40, There's so many people that have their own opinions of all that, but anyway. Sorry guys, I totally brain farted. One thing I forgot to mention is that as you turn this 18mm bolt, you need to, I use the socket for after I get that thing cracked loose. It's usually on the top of the shocks, as you can see right there. That's a 9mm. And then, because obviously you can't fit a socket on it, I'll break it loose with an 18mm wrench, and I'll just slip the socket off there and I spin them. So anyway, real quick reminder. Sorry about that, guys. All right, guys. So got the shock tower off. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I could barely even push on it, and it's going down. So yeah, you know they're shot out when it does that. It's barely even using any strength. So all right, on the next, I'm gonna get the bolt down there, which is the 21mm. All right, guys, got that lower 21mm bolt out. Boom! There it is. Oh, sorry, guys. There's that shock. All right, so back over here with the Bilstein shock. So there it is. What I like about these Bilsteins is it's got an Allen head on the top of that, and that is actually a 6mm. So you can use that to have another wrench or a socket or anything like that. Get to use an Allen wrench. So anyway, here's how that goes. That one goes there. That'll slide down on there, and then when we get the shock set down in there, these two will go, just you'll slide that and you'll slide the shock tower over the top of that, and then these will go over the top of that with that nylon nut. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that. Okay guys, so now it's just the reverse process. You're gonna go up and over the top. Be sure to watch out for your battery. You don't want to hit that thing, and it's gonna sit. You're going to drop it right down in there. Be sure you have the eyes facing the right way on the bottom of the shock, so you can get your bolt in there. So just drop it down in there. Yeah, right there. And then you'll reverse the process. You'll take your 21mm and it'll go right back in there. You have the same thing on the other side. Right there. So same for both sides. So I'll talk to you guys here in a little bit. Alright guys, so just showing you real quick, I got that bottom one in. I'm putting a lot of pressure on this thing because it wants to go up, unlike the shot out one. So anyway, you gotta finagle you gotta pull the shock down with both hands, and you can kind of hold it with one hand, as you can see I'm doing right here, and then you just slide that shock tower up and over the top until you can get it seated down on the nuts right, or the bolts right there. Okay, so I held that down, got these threaded on there until pretty much flush with the top of the nut, and then that way you can tighten it down. You don't have to have anybody else helping you. And sorry, I was gonna film, but I don't have my tripod with me, guys. So anyway, this helps kind of go a little bit quicker anyway, just to explain it to you guys. So next, I'm gonna put on the new one that goes, or first you got to put the bushings on. And so there is the top bushing, or some people call them insulator. There's the cap, and then those will slide up and over the top, right up there, just like so. All right. So guys, a quick note, the 18mm that's on the factory, Bilstein uses a 19mm. So anyway, you'll have to have a 19mm wrench. On driver's side, be sure to slip off the axle venting tube. And watch out for these wires. Alright, y'all, so there it is, nice and pretty. Got a little bit of squish in that upper grommet, or the insulator, or the bushing, whatever you want to call it. So these are torqued down to 55 foot-pounds, and that one that's inside there is at 100 foot-pounds, and I'm not sure what that equals to on the Newton torque specs, and no, not related to that person. I wish I was. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, guys, so that's how you do this thing, and it's the same for the other side. So if you want to see the other side, just watch this video again. And if this video helps you out, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day.